Am I the a-hole for blowing up at my husband after his entire family moved into our house without asking me? So, I, 33 female, have been married to Tim, 34 male, for 5 years. He's incredibly family-oriented, which normally is sweet. Keyword, normally. His mom, Laura, 60s, his sister, Emma, 21, Emma's boyfriend, Chris, and Laura's husband, Jack, all lived together in Laura's home until a gas leak turned their house into a carbon monoxide chamber. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but the house needed major repairs. We were told they'd be displaced for a while. Here's where it gets fun. Tim unilaterally decided to invite them to live with us. Not ask me, not discuss it, just told me they were coming. 24 hours before they showed up with suitcases and coolers of food like it was a summer camping trip. This wasn't a can we host them for a few days situation. This was a they'll stay until the house is fixed situation, which I later learned could take months. I was livid. And before anyone calls me heartless, no, I grew up with 3 older siblings, 2 brothers and a sister. I'm the youngest and I understand the importance of family. I would give my family the shirt off my back, but I also believe in boundaries, especially when I wasn't consulted in my own house. I mean, would that have changed things for you? Like, obviously it would have been nice to be consulted, but like, what if that wouldn't have changed anything, you know? It's like, okay, you were asked, you kind of said no, he pressured you into it, sort of said like they have nowhere to go, etc. Would you have felt like you could open up your space to them? I don't know. That's a lot of people to invite in a home. The boyfriend too, like, that's a lot of space that you're giving up. I could see you being uncomfortable about that for sure. Was there another option? I'm curious to know. Now, for context, Emma is the miracle baby, born after Laura had long given up hope of another child. She's the golden child, and Laura dotes on her like a Victorian-era heir. Tim, who's the second oldest, has spent most of his life playing peacemaker and trying to earn his mother's affection, especially since Laura and Tim's dad divorced when he was 10. His dad and stepmom, absolute angels. Respectful, kind, never overstep. Can't say the same about Laura and Jack. Okay. Yeah, I'm like, could you only include a couple of them? Like, do you even have space for all these people? Like, where are you going to put them? Emma and Chris are both full-time students with 0 job prospects. Chris spends all day in our media room playing games and vaping stress away. While Emma uses our guest room as a personal content studio. She's an aspiring lifestyle influencer with less than 500 followers and a ring light addiction. Oh, okay. Jack just sits in our sunroom reading and pretending the rest of the world doesn't exist. And Laura, she's been reorganizing my spice rack. Not the spice rack. Absolutely not. Commenting on my wardrobe and calling my dog hers. I finally snapped after week 2 today when Laura told me that maybe I should put more effort into my appearance since I work from home and have no excuse. I'm sorry, I would argue that like when you work from home, what is the reason to put effort into your appearance? Like at least from the waist down, you know? I run a consulting firm from my home office. She thinks I play on spreadsheets. That's immaterial. She shouldn't be telling you what you're doing in your house. I told Tim we need to talk, and he actually had the nerve to say, babe, don't start. They're family. They needed us. Hold on. So, despite the fact that you invited his family into your home, well, he did without asking, now they're just allowed to say and do whatever they want? No. Like, at the very least, you need boundaries there to, like, ask them to be like respectful. You know what I mean? At the very least, like you're inviting them into your home. They better be cooking, cleaning, making your life incredibly easy. I firmly believe this. When you invite like house guests to come and stay with you, not only do they need to be respectful of the space, so cleaning when they leave or just maintaining a certain level of cleanliness so that things don't get bad, or, you know, like doing their best, like taking you out for dinner or something, getting you a nice bottle of like just anything to make themselves less of a burden, they should be doing that. And if all they're doing is coming into your space and insulting the way that you look, like it's a no from me, dude. It's just like bad manners. It's bad manners at the end of the day. I lost it. I told him they're his family, not his responsibility, that he crossed a huge line inviting 4 adults into our home without my input, that I felt disrespected, bulldozed, and treated like an afterthought in my own marriage. I told him I've been a good wife, a good host, and a better daughter-in-law than his family deserves, but I'm not a doormat. Period. He accused me of being cold and said I didn't understand what it's like to come from a broken home. I reminded him that he married someone from a healthy home where people ask before they impose and boundaries are respected. Point blank. That's the ticket. Just because Laura emotionally manipulated him for decades doesn't mean I'm going to let her run my house like it's her second chance at suburban royalty. I've come to terms with the fact that like when you have a man, I don't know if it is true for women. I just know in my experience, when a guy has grown up with kind of like an overbearing, controlling mother, they are much more likely to be pushed around by them and much more likely to just keep the peace, you know, even when they're doing things that are kind of disrespectful, and just like really avoid setting any boundaries whatsoever with people because they have learned that boundaries are like not respected, you know? And it's a lot more common than you would think. Sucks to say, but that's why you're there, to set those boundaries. Now he's sulking. Laura's been making martyr comments about not being wanted. Emma passive aggressively posted a TikTok about people who don't support your dreams, and I'm the villain in my own home. I love my husband, but I feel like I'm being punished for having a backbone. Seems to me like he grew up in a home where what he wanted was immaterial. Like he was kind of pushed in directions that he didn't want to be. She probably used the "we're family" guilt trip so many times on him. For now, give him the benefit of the doubt. Have like a very calm conversation with him and just tell him that you are happy to help his family, but there need to be some ground rules. You would love to be able to talk with him about what you both feel comfortable with, because if you guys are going to be stuck in the same home for a long time with his family, there needs to be some ground rules. You know what I mean? You are absolutely right. Your husband is treating you terribly. He's literally setting you on fire to keep them warm, and your home, even your marriage, are all being completely disrespected by all of them. Stand your ground and good luck, OP. Yes, you definitely need to stand your ground. I agree. But it's nothing that I think like a conversation can't fix, you know, like a really healthy, good conversation. Sometimes people are pushovers and people pleasers, but like don't do anything brash and be like, oh, let's get divorced over this. Like definitely have it like a good convo about it. Exactly. Send them and hubby links to short-term rentals and Airbnbs and tell them they have until the end of the week to find something else. Tell hubby to get on board and start seeing a therapist, or get out too. Homeowners insurance will pay for lodging for exactly a situation like this. That is very interesting. Okay, so people are pointing out, I bet they were renters. Yeah, I mean, I don't know the logistics on all of that. I'm not really sure, but yeah, if they had rental insurance, it might have covered something like that because you're staying in a place that's not safe. Okay, so if you own the home and you have insurance, your insurance should cover a place for you guys to stay. If you rent a home and your place is like completely unlivable, it's like a danger to your health, isn't like your landlord kind of on the hook for that? Like, don't they need to house you somewhere? This is a very good point. Like, I find it a little weird that they're giving up so easily and like not looking for another option when they probably have other options. Get them an Airbnb, they can stay there. I mean, hold on, we're paying for it? I think they could probably get themselves an Airbnb. Let's be honest. Like, if they're renters, they're not spending money on rent. They're living in your house, so like not spending money on bills. I wouldn't stand for this in my home. OP, I'm glad you stood your ground. Now it's time for them to leave. Update me. Ooh, everybody wants an update. Okay, so we don't know what's going on, but we do want like an update, which we have.